They said Chairman Kong owned the city. Not officially, of course. On paper, he was a businessman. Real estate, imports, fine dining. But everyone knew the truth. Judges paused when his name was mentioned. Police cars looked the other way. Men disappeared quietly. And then one night, my brother didn't come home. I didn't find out from the police. I found out because a little girl wouldn't stop crying in the hallway of a government hospital. I was there to deliver documents. Just paperwork. Routine. That's how my brother and I survived in a world built on violence, by hiding behind routine. The girl couldn't have been older than 6. She was clutching a plastic doll with one missing eye, sitting on the floor while adults walked past her like she didn't exist. I knelt down. "Where's your mom?" I asked. She pointed toward the emergency ward. Then she said something I'll never forget. "They said my uncle fell," she whispered. "But my uncle doesn't fall." My chest tightened. I walked into the ward. And there he was. My brother. Daniel. Cold. Still. Bruises hidden under sheets. A small cut above his eyebrow. Cleaned too carefully to be an accident. The doctor avoided my eyes. "Workplace incident," he said. "Construction site." Daniel never worked construction. Someone had rewritten his life and his death. Later that night, a waitress found me. She worked at La Mirabelle, the most expensive restaurant in the city. The place where deals were made over wine older than most people's careers. Her hands were shaking when she spoke. "They're going to kill me," she said. I didn't ask why. People don't confess to strangers unless they're already drowning. She told me everything. Chairman Kong had hired my brother to legitimize a shipment. Clean papers. No noise. Then Kong sold him out, quietly, to eliminate competition and protect his own routes. When my brother tried to back out, Kong decided he was a liability. The accident was handled by private contractors. Legal licenses. Clean records. No crime scene. No murder weapon. Just a body. The waitress had overheard it all. Kong liked to talk when he drank. He liked to feel untouchable. And she had served the wine. That night I didn't cry. I watched the city from my window and understood something terrifying. Kong didn't fear violence. He feared exposure. Revenge isn't about rage. It's about timing. Chairman Kong survived because he never pulled the trigger himself. He built layers, lawyers, accountants, charities, shell companies. So I studied him. For weeks I lived like a ghost. I followed documents instead of people. I learned how his empire breathed. Kong owned restaurants, shipping firms, and children's charities. He hosted gala dinners where judges smiled beside him for photos. And every one of those businesses ran through the same accounting pipeline. That was the weakness. I contacted people who hated Kong quietly. Former employees, auditors who'd been pressured, regulators who'd been transferred after asking the wrong questions. I didn't threaten anyone. I offered them protection. Then I built the stage. Chairman Kang's birthday was coming up. Every year he celebrated it at La Mirabelle. Politicians, media, business elites, perfect audience. I reserved a table. Not hidden. Front row. And then I invited 2 people Kong never noticed. The waitress and the little girl. The restaurant glowed like a palace that night. Crystal chandeliers. Live violin. Gold cutlery. Chairman Kong entered like royalty. Applause followed him. I stood as he approached. "My condolences," Kong said smoothly. "Your brother was unfortunate." I smiled. "You taught him something valuable," I replied. Kong raised an eyebrow. "That the law protects smart men." He chuckled. "Indeed." At exactly 8:32 p.m., the music stopped. Not dramatically, just stopped. The screens usually reserved for wine menus lit up instead. Financial records, charity audits, shipping manifests. Kang's smile froze. Auditors walked in. Government, international, civil, not police. Behind them, the waitress stood. Then the little girl walked forward. She looked up at Kong. "My uncle doesn't fall," she said softly. The room went silent. I spoke. "You didn't kill my brother," I said calmly. "You authorized his removal." Documents scrolled. email trails, legal contracts, payments disguised as consulting fees. Judges shifted uncomfortably. Donors recognized their names. Kong stood up. "This is slander," he barked. An auditor stepped forward. "Chairman Kong, your charities are frozen. Your accounts seized. Your company's under investigation." No handcuffs, no shouting, just collapse. The waitress began to cry, not from fear but relief. Kong looked at me. "You think this is revenge?" he hissed. I leaned in. "No," I said. "This is compliance." Chairman Kong was never arrested for murder. He didn't need to be. His empire died on paper. Charities dissolved. Restaurants closed. Assets frozen worldwide. I filed a civil case. Wrongful death. Conspiracy. Negligence. Every document was obtained legally. Every witness protected by law. Kong settled. Not because he was innocent, but because court would expose everything he spent decades hiding. I used the settlement to fund a foundation in my brother's name, for children like the little girl who knew when adults were lying. Weeks later, I stood outside La Mirabelle as workers removed Kang's name from the entrance. The city didn't cheer. It just breathed, because the most powerful man in the city didn't fall from violence. He fell because two people he never noticed, a waitress and a little girl, told the truth. And I only gave the truth a microphone. Power doesn't break when you fight it. It breaks when you expose it.